fight back. In schools, we will toughen up the requirements to make sure that the identities of all governors are known to their school and to the wider community. We will clarify the rules to make it clear that governors should only serve on more than 2 governing bodies in genuinely exceptional circumstances. And we will establish a national database of school governors held centrally by the Department for Education. Outside the state sector, we will initiate a review of supplementary schools, which at present are unregulated and not inspected, to protect children from extremists. And we will take similar action in other institutions and sectors. We will review and reform the governance and inspection arrangements for further education colleges. We will make sure that major state employers, such as the NHS, have robust procedures in place to identify extremism and deal with it. We will publish a clear framework which will set out the circumstances in which central government should intervene when councils fail to respond to extremism or have been infiltrated by extremists. We will commission Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary to conduct an all-force inspection of the police response to honour crimes, female genital mutilation and forced marriage. We will require police forces to record anti-Muslim crimes as well as anti-Semitic crimes. And we will create new extremism officer positions in prisons to deal with extremist prisoners and prison gangs. We also want to make sure that the immigration system is as strong as it can be when it comes to preventing foreign extremists doing damage here in Britain. We will therefore conduct a full review of citizenship law to make sure successful applicants for citizenship respect British values. We will expect people coming to Britain on time-limited visas to sign a declaration saying they will respect British values while they are here. We will create new powers to refuse or remove licences to sponsor visa applications from people or institutions that promote extremist views or knowingly and without challenge host extremist speakers. We will refuse asylum to extremists who pose a threat to national security. And we will, through the immigration rules, require all foreign religious workers in pastoral roles to speak English. Government alone cannot defeat extremism, so we also need to do everything we can to build up the capacity of civil society to identify, confront and defeat extremism wherever we find it. We want to go further than ever before in helping people from isolated communities to play a full and fruitful part in British life. We plan a step change in the way we help people to learn the English language. There will be new incentives and penalties, a sharp reduction in funding for translation services, and a significant increase in the funding available for English language training. We will learn from the successful Troubled Families programme by creating a similar place-based, multi-agency, single-pot funding model called the Helping Isolated Communities programme. Starting with the most isolated communities, this will include training and skills projects, help for women to get into work, mentoring schemes, interfaith projects, getting school pupils mixing with children from other backgrounds, and intensive English language training. We will deny extremists the opportunity to spread their messages of hate by introducing banning orders for extremist groups that fall short of existing terrorist prescription thresholds. We will introduce extremism disruption orders, civil powers to be used against individual extremists who incite hatred. And we will introduce closure orders for premises that are owned or occupied by extremists or are used to host extremist meetings or speakers. When we decide whether to impose a banning order on an organisation based in this country, we will take into account the conduct of any organisations to which they are affiliated overseas. We will seize the opportunities provided by the internet to promote British values. We will support civil society organisations who want to fight back against extremism online. We will work with our international allies and seek a partnership with social media companies and communications service providers to deal with extremist content online. And we will review Ofcom's remit to make sure it has the right responsibilities and the right powers to take action against extremist broadcasts. We will bring in new powers for whistleblowers and a new extremism community trigger. This will allow members of the public to demand action if the police fail to investigate hate crime or other extremism-related offences. And it will allow them to demand a response from the relevant inspectorates if they have concerns about extremist behaviour in a particular institution. The approach that I have set out today includes some bold proposals and asks some searching questions. Questions that, to be frank, have probably not been asked in the past for fear of being insensitive. But what must not be lost amongst those difficult questions is that at the centre of this strategy is the same open, inclusive and pluralistic proposition that is at the centre of our national values. Everybody in our country is equal, and everybody is free to lead their lives as they wish. But our society does not just confer rights, it demands responsibilities of us too. You have the freedom to live how you choose to live, but you must also respect the freedom of others to live how they choose to live. That, I believe, is one of the most important reasons why this country is the best in the world to live in, whether you are Christian or Muslim, Hindu or Sikh, Jewish or of no religion at all, whether you're black or white, male or female, gay or straight. So I want to end by saying this. In developing the strategy I've described today, we're saying we want to form a new partnership. A partnership consisting of every single person and organisation in our country that wants to defeat the extremists. Government cannot act alone. Individual people, families and whole communities need help, and those of you fighting the extremists deserve our support. So my invitation is clear. Come and join that partnership. If you join us, we will do everything we can to help you. We will help you to stand up to the extremists by denying them the opportunity to spread their messages of hate and division. For too long, we have let the extremists define the them and us, telling young people that they cannot be a good Muslim and a good British citizen. I want this partnership to reclaim that debate. We, the us, will form a new partnership and show them that we want nothing to do with their hatred, bigotry and ignorance. This partnership will reclaim the debate from the extremists. This partnership will empower those who want to celebrate our values and defeat ignorance. This partnership will be a living testimony to show all that we can achieve together, how we are united, bound together by our values, a bond that will always prove stronger than any of the false and dangerous narratives dreamt up by our enemies. But to those people who do not want to join this new partnership, to those who choose consciously to reject our values and the basic principles of our society, the message is equally clear. The game is up. We will no longer tolerate your behaviour. We will expose your hateful beliefs for what they are. Where you seek to spread hate, we will disrupt you. Where you break the law, we will prosecute you. Where you seek to divide us, we will stand united, and together we will defeat you. Thank you.